Good morning, Tannoan traders. Today, initially, at least, there'll be a little bit of a shorter video, so I want to take that chance just to sort of give a little bit of a channel update, because I am continuing to make my way to MR30. I am now about a third of the way there, almost half honestly. I needed 147k. Now I need 80k, and I've got Varuna on the way, a couple of companions to level, so I'm pretty excited that that should be done a little sooner than I expected. So, thank you all for helping motivate me, and sort of thank you to NDD20 for helping inspire me, as getting to MR30 is not something I was like really interested in, but I started watching another YouTuber start their journey as a young Tenno, and saw them in a matter of months get to MR24. And I certainly wasn't going to be beaten by some baby Tenno live on screen. So that is one of the things that inspired that. But to actually get into what the point of today's video is, and why it will be a little bit shorter, yesterday we covered the sacrifice, so today we'll be doing the prologue to war, along with me wrestling with how I'm going to do the new war. And that is the other reason I wanted to record a little channel update, I suppose, because this is Raw Dog, a 4-hour quest. So I don't know how I want to upload that. I don't reasonably expect people to sit through a movie, but like that obviously doesn't mean I just skip it, because like I do have the footage for it. But like, do I spend all week uploading about the new war? Do I upload a 4-hour video? So, in the post about this, I'll probably try and take a small opinion poll about what the fuck do I do about that? But really, this is a shorter video, much like the Apostasy Prologue video, just to sort of deal with the setup cutscene. I may discuss a few things after the cutscenes, but I guess to not take up more time, we'll get into this with the Chimera Prologue. Back down to our private quarters. Whoa. Alright, that bloody got me. But alright, we're heading back to Lua. Just gonna quickly load up on mana here. I found out that every time you shoot Noko's mushrooms, they also trigger. So, that's been kind of helpful. Hey Wally, come on. Keep up, old boy. Yeah, what do you silly little men think they got? Sorry, Wally. I rocked up with my own squad. Hey, got one. Come on, come on, Wally. My team's only getting bigger. You bitch. Yeah, you got another one. Alright, back to the Tenno Wellspring. But you still deserve hugs, Lotus. Oh. This is weird. Alright, flying into the butthole. You're kidding me, you're still alive? Wait, why is my Warframe just there? Okay, I probably shouldn't have come down here. Well, that was weird. We... So... Who else thinks Ballas knew we were there that whole time? Maybe not the whole time, but from about 20 seconds in, I'm pretty confident he realizes we're there. Alright, everybody. After that, I'd like to offer a little bit of context as to what the prelude to war actually is. After the Lotus left in the Apostasy prologue, and we witnessed her coming to Ballas's rescue in the Sacrifice as an Atar, we redoubled our efforts to find Natar, the Lotus, whatever form she's taking right now, to find out what the heck's going on. These were a string of events and cutscenes that were trickled out in-game throughout the, honestly, I get the impression, quite a while between the Sacrifice and the New War. Sorry I haven't looked up how long was between those patches or anything. Maybe I should. But these are things that the Tenno experienced in his search for the Lotus. Their search for the Lotus. I'm sorry, I forget that you can make the operator female. But without any further ado, let's continue on this journey. Head back down to personal quarters. The Old War is a very old event in Tenno history. This was the original war against the Orokin and the Sentients.
Natah. I am the Lotus.
There is so much up with that scene. But where the hell have we found ourselves? Is this on Pragatha? God, he looks weird when he's sitting. Alright, so I'll keep speculation brief, as these characters will probably get their own videos at some point, but I do want to quickly bring up, I have no idea what this completion screen is. Is that supposed to be a symbol of Era's head? Is that where he was found? Because he is a new character that showed up for this storyline and is Hunhao's son, Natah's brother, as you saw in the start of this quest, with the "if I had eyes they'd be weeping" and pleading with Natah to choose over her children or her brother. Well, obviously that's not how he sees it. He sees us as parasites. But it brings up a lot of weird questions. See, we've already covered that Margulis was executed, but the Lotus uses her form. And now we've established that Natah is a mimic, seemingly made to mimic Margulis' form. In the sacrifice, there is some correspondence between Ballas to Hunhel, leading me to believe that Ballas sold out the Orokin Empire in the Old War, at least in the Origin system, to get Margulis back in some way. And I can't back that up that strongly, but it's where the evidence is leading me. The reason I bring this up is because it seems quite bizarre that in the Old War, when it was still being fought, that the Lotus was on the Orokin side. I don't think Ballas could have just walked his dead wife in after she got executed by the Seven. Like, even if Orokin were immortal, oh no, it's fine, I just brought her back to life. No, Ballas, she was executed, we're going to execute her again? I don't know how Orokins felt about our executions permanent. Maybe they weren't. But I'm pretty sure it would have been pretty strange for her to show back up. Questions would have been asked, even if it was just by people who didn't like Ballas. Which, I don't know how many people that really was, but everyone's got haters. So, I didn't really think that Natar was ever, like, sort of openly on the Orokin side, but that cutscene does allude to that fact. That Natar did actively become the Lotus, the mother of the Tenno, during the Old War. And sorry to reiterate the point a few times, but I really do think that's quite interesting. It means that the Orokin Empire had already at that point been sort of circumvented by the sentients and sort of infiltrated. Who knows if Ballas is the only one who made deals. We've seen that Alad V made deals to overthrow the Corpus to the sentients. So, I just wanted to sort of get that out there and sort of get people thinking about, really, how did Natar become the Lotus? Because Margulis was the Lotus when she was alive. I get the impression it's one of the main reasons she was executed. So, even someone else taking on that role, I'm not sure how it would have been taken. So it would have had to have been an unofficial role, and, you know, maybe Ballas having knowledge of Margulis' duties, what she did. They did love each other, apparently. So I have faith that he would have known about the Tenno Wellspring and stuff. He explains it to Hunhel. So it does make sense that he could have just brought Natar there. And it's why in the Apostasy prologue I don't believe he draws any real distinction between the Lotus, Margulis, Natar, because Natar was made as ostensibly a present to him to be a new Margulis, who still, annoyingly to him, decided to be the Lotus. So she was locked up in the moon, and left there with the Tenno children, possibly somehow enacting the second dream, but honestly, even that event is so unclear that I couldn't accurately describe when or how that went down, to be honest. God forbid if there was a first dream. But to not make this video longer, let's get into the third part of our prologue to war. Here we go. With the Makers.
you can finish what she started.
Finish the war.
Bring peace. Bring purity.
On Lua, the Lotus, I attacked you.
You remember.
You died.
You don't remember everything then. Yes, your agents wounded me, and our forces were depleting fast. I knew I had failed. Failed you, my sister. Failed our family. I had no choice but to retreat.
No. You were destroyed. The Tenno made sure of that.
You're still recovering. We've all let the niggas did to you. It will take time to heal.
He is one of them, isn't he? A maker.
Alright, that was interesting getting to see that Era maybe doesn't love his sister as much as he claims. You know, they are sentients. We have very little understanding of how they feel about one another. But they do look at each other as a family. He does sort of use that, as does Hunhao. But he is quite openly an unfeeling, unloving thing. He is seemingly proud about being Hunhao, the Great and Terrible. So, I'm not surprised that he is so ready to attempt to reclaim his daughter, attempt to finish the old war, whatever exactly that means. But anyway, hope you all have found this informative. Hope you've enjoyed. Have a great rest of your week. Stay safe out there. Bye.